Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No matter the chapter, life is meant to be explored. Welcome to Sequel Overland.
With our kids off on their own journeys, we're writing our next chapter, creating our sequel.
We're camping under the stars,
Exploring wilderness areas,
overlanding new trails,
and proving that every stage of life is worth living to the fullest.
So it's 6:30 in the morning, and we're almost to Rocky Mountain National Park, going up our favorite canyon to Rocky Mountain, Big Thompson Canyon, and it's just so beautiful. We're just reminded again about why we love the Rocky Mountains and what brings us here. This morning we got up at 4:30 because we're hoping to get in the park before the reservations are needed. And we got close to Big Thompson Canyon, and we both just got filled with excitement and joy. And anyways, we're looking forward to a wonderful day in the park.
Entering the park that morning felt like stepping into a dream. The mist hung low over the valleys, and the first light of day painted the towering peaks in soft hues of gold. The spring air was crisp and fresh. As we drove deeper into the park, we passed elk grazing peacefully in the meadows and on the hillside, their large antlers silhouetted against the morning sky. The park felt still, almost sacred, as if waiting for the world to wake up. With the sun rising over the jagged mountains, it was the perfect moment to breathe in the beauty, the peace, and the majesty of this place. Driving a little further down the road, we spotted a massive moose on the other side of the pond, its reflection perfectly mirrored on the water surface. The morning light caught the moose's sleek coat as it calmly drank, water dripping off of its chin, as it raised its head to stare at its morning visitors. We immediately had camera envy as people around us snapped their close-ups with their 2-foot-long lenses while we tried zooming in with our iPhones. In spite of our lack of camera, it was a beautiful moment, seeing such a majestic creature in its natural habitat, graceful yet powerful. This peaceful interaction between wildlife and humans reminds us of what a treasure this place is. Our next incredible find was a baby moose all on his own, munching on his leafy breakfast right on the side of the road. His mother was nowhere in sight. There's a story behind this guy?
His mom passed away. They didn't know why.
They never did get a reason why.
And people were kind of worried about him making it through the season.
The story goes that this was little Max. His mom, a cow named Green Ears, had died in the spring. Since then, Max has occasionally been seen with a bull moose protector, but for the most part, he had continued to survive on his own until now. After hearing Max's story and watching him for a little while, we continued down the road toward the alluvial fan.
So this is the alluvial fan. It looked a lot different back in 2014. It's changed a lot since the floods. But some of our earliest memories of Rocky Mountain National Park are here.
As we drove away from the alluvial fan, we wondered where to go next. We had grand plans to hike up to Emerald Lake in the afternoon, but our timed entry wasn't until noon. Since we got into the park at 6:30 in the morning, we had quite a bit of time to kill. So we set off to see what we could do until then. to Beaver Meadows. We've never been down here before. Our timed entry isn't until noon. And so that means all of the places that Charles really wanted to go and fish and everything is just not possible until noon. So we're gonna just maybe go hiking here and see what we can find. So let's see, the fires were in 2020, I think, or 2020, the fires, right? Yeah.
2020 or 2021?
2021, and you can see right here where they came down that ridge. So we're up here in Beaver Meadows and already out of breath and wondering how in the world we're gonna do the hike later. Because we literally just climbed the smallest of hills. But look at the devastation of the fire. That's just, it just breaks your heart. While we're waiting for our timed entry into the Bear Lake area, we decided to come sit out here, find a nice spot to sit, have our coffee, and just chill for an hour. So this isn't bad.
Nope. Woodland nymph. drinking her steamy cup of joe. Go to Bear Lake and hike some trails so we can get in at noon. It is 11:37 and we are sitting here waiting for 11:40, 11:45 so that we could get in there with hopes that if we're too soon we're not turned away. Waiting is the absolute worst, but you know what's worser? Not being in the mountains.
That's true.
So we're here in the mountains waiting. How fun is that?
But this 20 minutes has never seemed so long.
Oh, mercy.
We're worried that we won't get a parking spot up near the trails.
And I won't be able to get to fly fish.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's all of that. But we have had an amazing morning already. So even if we didn't get to do anything else, we've had an incredible morning.
What she said.
Okay, we made it through. We're finally on our way to our hike and to fishing. Yay! That was the longest 20 minutes ever.
Oh my goodness.
Very slushy. We might just put on our micro spikes from the beginning. Let's do. I'm gonna feel, well, it's probably okay. But here we go. This is where we're going. Feel, honey, I'm actually doing better than I thought I would do.
I'm at 135, so I need to take a break.
The micro spikes help a lot. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's the view.
Oh, and this is why we love this hike. These views are absolutely breathtaking. That's our goal. Awesome. That part was super slick too. Feeling it now, right, honey? My heart rate is pretty high. What? I said my heart rate is pretty high. All right, honey, here we are. We're almost there.
Hey,
We can do this.
here we can.
This is the best. We're living our dream. Living the dream.
Living the dream, baby. You and me.
Some well-deserved lunch at the top of the trail.
100% delicious. Peanut butter and jelly is never better when you're at almost 10,000 feet.
Yeah, and hiked for an hour and a half.
Yep.
So yum. Well, we're about to start down, and I'm not going to do any filming on the way down because it was super slick, and I need all of my hands and poles and spikes to make sure we make it down in one piece. All right, you ready, sweetie?
Well, ready as I'll ever be.
Here we go. So Charles and I got done with our hike, and now he's suiting up to go fishing. However, the wind is picking up, so we'll see how it goes. After our one day in the mountains, we're headed back to our family's house, and it was a beautiful day. Fortunately, Charles didn't catch a fish this time. But talk about a beautiful setting to fish for fish. It was gorgeous. And there was a big herd of elk that I was watching while he was fishing, so that was fun too. Anyways, it's been a wonderful adventure, and can't wait to do it again. And